What's up, guys? It's Noah Baskin here with Luca Kassab. We're back for another episode of Fresh on Clips. Happy New Year. We're going to do way better in 2023. This podcast is just getting started. We're going
We're
to go
going
all
up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
All
let's
right,
get right into it.
let's get into
Clippers. Clippers last 7 games, 4-3. They have wins against the Wizards, Hornets, Pistons, and Raptors, with losses against the Sixers, Celtics, and Pacers. We're currently fifth in the West and 4 games back of first. Not ideal, but good enough for us. Do you think that Norm and Kawhi are finally back?
Uh, I do. I mean, from considering Kawhi missed 18 months due to a torn ACL. For those of you who don't know, obviously that's a pretty major injury. Kawhi gets hate lots of the time because, he's like the load manager, like he's the one that started that. Um, and so Kawhi, he's missed in the beginning of the year, he got hurt. He hurt his ankle. He was missing games because his knee was swelling. So, like we have to give it to him. He had a
It
rocky
was going
start.
to take him time to get back, and we all
Yeah,
knew
like
that.
it was frustrating, of course, as a fan. Like you just want him to be right there, but that's not realistic. So, the past, I'd say since we played the Charlotte Hornets,
The first
couple
time, correct?
yeah, when we hit the game winner, when Kawhi hit the game
Yeah.
winner, I think that was almost a month ago now. Actually, that's surprising. Yeah, so I'd say December 5th against the Hornets. I'd say that game is when Kawhi, we started seeing flashes of the old Kawhi, and it just went up from there. Then he's been playing more minutes. He's been playing over 30 minutes now. He had a minute restriction. He
37 minutes yesterday.
he looks like himself. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, we played the Indiana Pacers yesterday. Kawhi didn't look great in the first half, or well, he did not in the first quarter. Sorry,
He
and
didn't look
then
great in the first half.
oh yeah,
The
okay,
third quarter, he took over.
yeah, okay, that's what it was. He was like 1 for 6 or something. All of a sudden, he just locked in. He started going crazy. He ended up with 24, 25 points, I think.
23 points,
23 points. Yeah.
23 points, 16 in the third.
Yeah. So,
Him and PG brought us back in that game.
those were just flashes of the old Kawhi. That's just like a glimpse. Like, so, just imagine that. And he's still getting back. He's not even 100% yet. He still isn't conditioned all the way. Like I said, he missed 18 months.
He's
And
still
then,
waiting for his 3-pointer to come back, but it is slowly coming back.
yeah. Do you want to start on Norm and then I can add to that?
Just to finish with Kawhi,
Yeah.
last 7 games, 23 points, 7.3 rebounds, 54% from the field, and 39% from three. For a dude who doesn't have his 3-point shot back all the way, 39% is not bad at all. And, that number would be higher if he didn't get double teamed every time he touched the ball against the Raptors.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
game.
that was crazy. Yeah.
With Norman, he's back. He's up to 15 points per game. With how bad he started off this season, it's crazy that he's at 15 points. He since coming back from injury, first game in a month, in a month exactly almost. He looks more aggressive, and what I love most is he realized, okay, I'm a good shooter, but I'm a good catch and shoot shooter. I'm not an off the dribble shooter. And you know what he did? He's driving to the basket. He's being more aggressive, getting easier shots rather than forcing up threes like he did to start the year. Sixth man of the year, Norman Powell. Start the agenda now.
Like you said, Norm, like he's a great catch and shoot. And it's crazy to me. He's like one of the smoothest I've ever seen at getting to the basket. Like he just gets there like that. Like 3 dribbles, boom, layup. Like he gets to the rim so fast. Like it's crazy. Like I didn't realize how easy it was for him. And like in the beginning of the year, he played really bad. Like, I was like starting to get a little skeptical. You were very skeptical. I'm not even gonna lie. You were pissing me off. You were like, we need to trade him, blah, blah, blah. It had been like 5 games. Don't get me wrong. He was playing terrible, like really bad. But I
It was
mean,
more so he was just forcing. That's what it
yeah.
was.
But I mean, you were going off on him. You were saying we need to trade him. And I was like, nah, Luca, like you need to calm down. And Luca's like, no, 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 we need to trade
I
him.
gave him a 7-game window, and all he did
And I
was
told you,
force.
he'd be back. I told you. Anyway, so not just that, you also are asking when Norm back from when he hurt his groin, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so Norm played pretty bad in the beginning of the season. He started to play really well against his former team, the Trailblazers. He had a really great game. And then
He
he
outscored
had
the
like
Blazers in
22
the fourth.
points. Yeah, he had like 20.
23 points in the fourth compared to their
Yeah,
21.
yeah. And so that game he actually got hurt too. He didn't finish like the last possession because he hurt his groin. So I think he missed 10 games.
Took him out for a month.
Yeah, so he came back and he's pretty much back to where he left off. I mean, obviously he was slow the first couple games, but I mean, I'd say he's back now.
I
So
feel
I think,
he's more explosive now than he was before too.
yeah, he again, I just like I said, like he just like one dribble, boom, boom, and one. Like he just gets to the rim like that. And his catch and shoot threes have been automatic. So I just think with Kawhi and Norm back, I think we're starting to get on the right track here.
Agreed, agreed. All right, let's talk about these 3 losses. We had the 4-point loss to Philly, the 1-point loss to the Pacers, and the 6-point loss to the Celtics. What was your overall thought of, let's start with the Boston game?
All right, so in the Boston game, we were at Boston. You know, that game was tough. I mean, we were down most of the first half. We came back in the second half. I don't think we were playing terrible, but we definitely weren't playing great. And we were playing the best team in the league right now. I mean, one of the best. I don't want to say the best. Best,
Record-wise, best in
best.
the league.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and so I'm not upset about that loss. Okay, it was in Boston against one of who's the best team right now. I'm not upset. I think we could have taken that one. We did beat the Celtics earlier in the year in LA. I so I mean it's frustrating, but I'm not gonna hang my head on that loss. I mean, it just is a learning experience for us. And I know this is a point later, but I have some questions about our coaches' rotations.
Agreed. I
I
also
mean,
think in that loss, the key thing with the rotations is why was an injured Batum and a limping Reggie playing at the end of the game?
yeah.
That
I
was
don't know.
not needed for the, in quote, deepest team in the NBA to
Yeah,
use 2 injured players over healthy dudes. Something.
yeah.
I,
I know,
I,
man.
I personally, I was okay with that loss.
Same, yeah.
I think though the reason we lost that game is I felt in the 3rd quarter PG began to fade.
Yeah.
PG faded. I feel the reffing was poor for us the entire game. And yeah, I'm not one to blame refs for a game, but the amount of calls that the Celtics got away with in that game and the challenge at the end where Norman Powell was clearly tugged by Smart.
Dude, oh my God. Not just that. We're just on like the fifth possession of the game. Our starting point guard, Reggie Jackson,
Elbow
elbowed
to
in
the
the face,
face. Six
bleeding,
stitches. 6 stitches.
bleeding on the floor in pain. No offensive foul call. No, not even a foul call. Reggie gets up, goes and yells at the refs and get a tech. I think if you miss a call that badly, like relax, dude. Now he's gonna be out for a while because he has to get stitches in his eye. Like
No,
that was
he's playing. He's just playing
no, no,
with stitches.
no, I know he was out. I mean, for a while, like in the beginning of that game,
Yeah.
he like missed most of the first half. But I mean, like that also like Reggie's our starting point guard. Like that's not just like that's like a big piece of our team. Missing a call on a player with that caliber, like I mean, that's just some BS. Like obviously the refs are human too, and I'm not one to blame refs, but I think that really, really shifted the momentum in the game. And there's over and over missed calls.
Scott Foster ref game. Missed calls on both sides though. Let's be
Yeah.
fair. But I feel the refing was terrible in that game, and that cost both sides a good amount. And
Um,
my last thing on this game, do you the Zoo being on the bench the entire 4th quarter when Robert Williams and Al Horford are in, us going small
I know,
because
bro.
Marcus Morris has to play. Zoo
I
came in with
know, bro.
3 minutes left.
I know, bro. I don't know. Like it's just so frustrating. Like we're such diehard fans. We watch every game, like, and like we feel like we could. Like I know me and you could probably coach the team better sometimes, in my opinion. Like
That I agree. The rotation
it's just
sometimes.
it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating.
All right,
Um,
let's
should we talk
you
about the Sixers loss?
yeah. I I just want to start with Philadelphia is a really talented team, and I won't take that away from them. The Sixers are one of the better teams in the West. In the East, they have Doc Rivers, who, yes, I do not like the dude, but he is one of the best coaches in the game. And they have
I don't
one
know.
of, if not, they have one of, if not the best player in the NBA, in Joel Embiid, who put 44 on our heads that night with only 6 free throws. And then Harden had 21. This is a talented Sixers team, but I do think this is an embarrassing loss.
Well, I completely agree. I don't I don't want to like normally I don't want to mention this, but we ought to point out the negatives here. We were up by 20 in the first half.
21-point lead
21.
blown.
Normally the Clippers are on the other side of that. Normally the Clippers are down and then we come back and win. And when that happens, it's a great feeling. Like,
Even more so.
I'm jumping in front of my TV, clapping like I'm on drugs, like I'm like going crazy.
Even more so, Doc Rivers is usually on the other side of this.
Yeah. So, like we played really well. Kawhi, that was like another game. Kawhi looked like himself. Paul George, we were all playing well. And like I was like, can we keep this up the whole game? Like, especially against Joel Embiid and James. They're just as good as Kawhi and Paul George. Joel Embiid's insane. I was just like, can we keep this up? And the lead started getting smaller and smaller. It was just really frustrating down. And then we made some bad decisions. Like, I mean, our careless turnovers.
Frustrating turnovers.
I have to mention that too. In the beginning of the year, we talked about it. I remember in like the first or second episode, our turnovers need to be cleaned up. Like it's getting a little bit out of control here. Like, I mean, we have some bad turnovers. Like, not like obviously every team could have turnovers. I mean, we like throw passes over there and like the players right here. Like, I mean,
Paul George.
yeah. So I just want to say that loss, especially, that was a really frustrating one. Like I'm upset about that one. We should have won that one. And yeah, I mean, you win some, you lose some, but
The
yeah.
key thing, what I noticed in that game, the key thing that the Sixers did, which I haven't seen any other team do, shout out Darian Dime Dropper, because he was the one who pointed this out, but the Sixers, Shake Milton, and James Harden targeted Luke Kennard and Reggie Jackson in the ISO. No team has done that this year, and now
And
teams are beginning to notice it.
Harden had 22 assists. Let me mention that too. His
Yeah,
career
that
high
went crazy.
in assists. Yeah, that's crazy.
But the two of them, Shake Milton especially, were sitting there looking at Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, and even John Wall at times, saying, "Let me go right at them and make a decision based on how they play it." And Shake in the fourth quarter just went at Kennard. We're both Kennard lovers, and we think Kennard is the perfect dude to have next to Kawhi and PG. But when it comes to
Luke is
Shake
my father.
Milton,
Yeah.
Shake Milton, who's a good NBA scorer, but not great, not anything special, going
Yeah.
at the same player every single play and scoring every time, it means go sit him on the bench.
Something needs to change there. And I think I'll save this for our next segment, what I was about to say.
I just feel this loss is on PG fading and the lack of energy in the second half. PG fading in the second half is a key thing for our team.
Yeah.
Dude averages 9 points per game in the first quarter. Every game, it feels like he has 15 or 16 at halftime. Then he finishes with 20.
Yeah. It's the cycle.
Needs to be aggressive in the second half if we want to win games.
All right.
On the positives of that game, though, we did a really good job not fouling, and we did a great job in the first half playing our brand of basketball.
Yeah. I mean, really good job. That was one of the best we've looked, besides when we beat Boston.
That is the best we looked, I think. That first half was the best we've looked.
I was thinking like, damn, if we play like this, like no one is stopping us. Like
no one in the West is beating us when we play like that.
No chance. I know. It's just about keeping it up throughout the whole game, which is hard for us. I think we get like we just ease out of it. We think we got it, but obviously we know that's not true. We after before the Boston game, we played Detroit Pistons. We were down 9 with, what was it?
3 minutes. No, it was 14 with 3 minutes left.
14 with 3 minutes left, and the Clippers came back and won. So it's weird that we know that you can come back from any lead, and yet we're still blowing leads. I mean, I think you got to keep it on. You got to keep your foot on the gas pedal here. It's
last thing about Philly. They're a talented team. Shout out Georges Niang and Shake Milton for bringing them back. Embiid and Harden, very good basketball players.
Niang. He's the most irrelevant basketball player ever. He's on my like top 5 hated players.
But he did bring them back.
Georges Niang. I know it was making me so mad when that guy hit a 3. I was like, what the heck, bro? Like, oh my God. All right, let's move on from that. I can't
Pacers. What do we have on the Pacers?
All right, so we lost by 1 to the Pacers.
131, 130.
Yeah, we pretty much lost by 4, but Paul George hit that last second 3. That was another frustrating loss. Um, Indiana played well though. Like they looked really good. Like I was surprised. Last time we played them, they didn't look that great. I mean, they were hitting their shots. So are we
Young,
though.
energetic team.
It was close the whole game, pretty much. I mean, there's some like little leads, but
In the
nothing.
first half, it was not close. In the second half, it got close. But in the first
Yeah,
half, we played terribly.
I mean, it was back and forth. Okay, so in the fourth, from 12 minutes from the start of the fourth to I think maybe until 3 minutes, 4 minutes, when Zubac came back in, and I forget who else, somebody else came back in. Um, we were going small, right?
Oh,
With
are we talking the 5 guard lineup?
yeah.
The
Okay.
5 guard lineup that stayed until 6:47
Oh,
left in the fourth?
do not get me wrong. That is a great lineup against certain teams. I don't think it's a great lineup when a 7'1" all-star caliber player is in at center, and then their power forward is another 7 footer. Okay, 6'11", same thing, right? And then our tallest player is 6'7", and
Paul George.
he's trying to guard him. And I think it was maybe 4 possessions in a row. Don't get me wrong, 3 or 4. Miles Turner, their all-star center or whatever, all-star caliber center, I should say. He had 4 and 1s in a row. I just
I
think I just I just think that's a sign that it's not working. We scored 5 possessions in a row too. It was like five. We scored 5 possessions in a row. They did too. So it was going back and forth, and we could afford to trade baskets. Then we were up by like 3, I think. But like, I mean, it gets annoying after a while. Just trading baskets, like you have to get a stop, and we could not stop them. I think that's a sign. You have to bring our 7 footer back in, continue playing how
or
we play
or
offense.
at least bring in Robert Covington,
Exactly. Oh, you know what?
some bigger dude who can play
Exactly. Who
defense.
played in the first half, and that didn't happen. So, it was really frustrating. And I think it was a very winnable game, like very winnable. And it just sucks because it sucks losing close games. It sucks losing any game, but it just sucks when it's so close and your team just Marcus Morris, I mean, not just him, but he had a wide open three to give us the lead. He missed it. Everybody misses shots. He's not the reason we lost, but you know, I just think it's decision making. We have very bad decision making. Like we were down 3. Yes, of course we wanted to win the game, but it wasn't going to happen. It was either overtime or we lost. And I think it was with 5 seconds left. Kawhi shot like
7 seconds, Kawhi Leonard.
7. Yeah, so why don't we just relax, get it to Paul George, who has 42 points.
Give it to the dude who's been hitting shots all game.
Okay, yes, and tie the game instead of catching the ball and shooting a contested three with
A
7 seconds.
rushed
Seven
contested three
seconds
pointer
left.
by a dude who doesn't have his 3-point shot left.
You know,
Yes, Kawhi Leonard, you are a star player in this league. You are
yeah,
a top 5 to 7 player in this league. But you should not be shooting a contested three over Miles Turner with 7 seconds left.
it was. I don't even know what to say. It was like very, very like I don't even know what to say. It was interesting. Like it's our decision making. That's what it is. That's not the reason we lost exactly, but I mean that's definitely a part of it.
I
I mean,
disagree with the 5 guard lineup being good, by the way.
I mean it's been good. Okay, I don't want to say it's like good. Like I'm not saying we should play with that all the time. There have been moments where it has been good.
No, but we never run 5 guards. It's always 4 guards. It's always 3 or 4 guards, and then Nick Batum, who is a 6'9" practically center on our team.
Okay, yeah,
Paul
you're right.
George is not a center on a basketball team.
Not
He
at
is
all.
not
No.
he is not a big enough or aggressive enough player to play center. Paul George is a guard in my book. When you're running Wall, Nuke Kennard, Norm Powell, Terrence Mann, and Paul George, anybody would tell you you're going to get killed in the paint because your only dude who plays physical is Terrence Mann, and he's 6'6".
Wait, and I just want to. Last time we played the Pacers, obviously they had emphasis on this. Our center had 31 points and 29 rebounds, which is an record-setting NBA stat line. I mean, like 2 other people have done it before. And so why aren't we playing that center again? He was playing well. He wasn't going to get 29 rebounds and 31 points again. But I mean,
Zoo was
why?
playing lazy, so I see why Ty wasn't playing him, but at the
Yeah,
same time, you still have Covington. You can't ever go that tiny.
yeah, I feel like our coach has something against Robert Covington.
In that game, it was just the 5 guard lineup killed us. Kawhi and Morris's decision. I'm not saying Morris, actually. Morris played really well. He missed one big shot. That's not on him. Everybody misses shots.
Yeah,
But the
no, yeah,
team as a
exactly.
whole's decision making lost us the game. And the big thing in this game to me was, where was Terrence Mann in the first half when we needed energy? We're
Exactly.
down by 11 and we're not getting stops on defense. Why is the second best defender on the team sitting on the bench?
I had the same reaction. I was so I don't know, dude. It leaves me speechless. Like I don't even know what to say anymore. It frustrates me so much. I mean,
Let's
I
use
almost broke my other hand by punching the TV. I was so mad. I mean, come
let's
on.
use Ty's weird decision making in the Pacers game to get to the topic of, do you believe Ty Lue's coaching is holding us back?
Do you want to start off with that?
I'll start with it. I think to begin with, hot take right here. Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson are Ty Lue's version of Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams.
I agree with that.
There is no leash. There's no leash. They play 30 to 35 minutes a game when they shouldn't be exceeding 30 minutes max. And no mistake is on them. Other players, Terrence Mann, Robert Covington, Luke Kennard, they make a mistake. You see Ty Lue chirping at them. You see him subbing them out. Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson do something stupid. Oh, it's okay. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. They have there's nothing on them. But Ty Lue treats them as if they're both superstars. Marcus Morris should not have closed that game against the Celtics, nor should have Reggie. But guess what? Ty Lue said, these are my 2 favorite players on the team. Let me finish it and not put our 7-foot center and Norman Powell in the game.
Yeah, and just Norman Powell's been on a tear. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I'll just add on to you. Like, it's kind of giving me Doc Rivers flashbacks in a way. Like, I'm not comparing him to Doc Rivers.
Ty Rivers?
Yeah.
He was sitting next to him in the bubble, so, he learned a couple things.
I think as a coach, you have to coach on the fly, right? Like, you have to make adjustments in game. I forget, multiple people have said Ty Lue is one of the best at doing that. And so, I think he's kind of faded away from that. He obviously makes in-game decisions, like transitions, but it's his lineups. We used to see Ty Lue do all different lineups, not afraid to take a guy out. Like, I just think
that Pistons game showed how good of a coach Ty Lue could be.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just, it's holding our team back when Norman Powell and Luca Kennard, or even Norman Powell and Terrence Mann, just are sitting on the bench when they should be finishing the game with our starters. Don't get me wrong, I love Reggie and Morris, but I mean, the way Luke and Norman Powell have been playing, they should be finishing the games.
How the rotation should be to finish games is PG and Kawhi are givens. After that, putting the 3 dudes who have been the best on the team.
Yeah.
The only
it could be Batum, it could be Zoo, Morris, it could still be Reggie.
The only dude on this team who I believe has to finish every game aside from PG and Kawhi is Batum. Because Batum, not Norm. Norm, yes, he's a great scorer, but he has the same thing as Reggie, where if he's not hitting shots, what's he contributing on the court?
I mean, I disagree. I think we should keep Norman. Norman has been our third best.
I think we have too many talented guards to keep Norm in, though. Think about it. We have so many great guards that if Norm's having an off night, okay, Norm, we understand you're the 6th man of the year. Yeah. But we're gonna finish with Luke and Terrence, Luke and Reggie, Reggie and Terrence, John and Reggie.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that, but I still think Norman is, unless Norman is having an off, I don't want to say a bad night, an off night, I think he should be there.
He should be finishing if he's playing well. But Batum, the thing with Batum is what he's going to give you. Okay, let's say he's not making shots. Okay, he's going to go pick up full court. He's going to go dive on every loose ball. He's going to fight for every rebound. He is going to play energy. He's going to play with high energy, and that is a dude you need. And he could be 0 for 3 from 3. He showed He showed on this road trip. He had games where he started off 0 for 3, especially Toronto. And in the 4th quarter, he hit 2 big threes. This dude should never not finish a game.
I think he had 7 or 8 threes twice in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's had 3 games this year with 7 plus threes.
Merci beaucoup, Batum. I love that French guy. Merci beaucoup.
I feel we're focusing too much on the finishing lineups. So here's my big knock with Ty Lue. Why is Terrence Mann being treated like a dude who can play one night but not the other? This
Yeah.
dude is the energy spark of this team. He is gonna come out. He's like Batum. Him and Rocco are both like Batum, where they'll come in, they'll give you energy and defense. Covington against the Pacers yesterday played his first minutes since December 21st against the Hornets. And
Yeah.
guess what? Those minutes against the Hornets were garbage time. The
I know.
last time before that I think he played was against the Nuggets in November, at the end of November.
Dude, Robert Covington is a great player. I mean, like we're really deep and someone's gonna have to get their minutes cut. But I mean, there's something's going on there. I don't know.
Covington's too good of a player to sit on your bench. He's a good 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
And yes, he's not the defender Batum is. He's not the defender Kawhi, PG, Terrence Mann
I
are.
think he led, sorry to interrupt, I think he led the league in deflections last year.
What I'm saying is he's not that on-ball defender, but as an off-ball defender, he is a great dude to have on the court.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's not going to pick up full court. He's not going to guard at half court. But as an off-ball defender and a help defender, that is a dude you want on the court.
Yeah.
And with last part about Terrence Mann, Robert Covington. If Terrence Mann and Robert Covington aren't glorified players in this rotation, why is John Wall? He's taking minutes from Robert Covington, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, Nick Batum. And he's the 5th best guard on the team.
I mean, I don't hate on John Wall, you know. He's been great for us, you know. He's okay. He's been good for us.
No, I don't think he's even been good. John Wall is my 3rd favorite player of all time.
Bro.
I was so hyped when he came here. But the thing is, I feel he's too ball dominant to be playing with Norman Powell, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. The thing with Reggie, Norm, Luke, all our other guards is they can give up the ball and go sit in the corner, go spot up. John Wall is not that good of a spot up shooter. And when he's on the court, he's way too ball dominant. And it's kind of Reggie syndrome from last year. He dribbles 20 seconds and makes someone else shoot a stupid shot.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, he has had like little strides of
He's had games where he's looked great.
Yeah.
He's had games where he looks like the point guard that every sports analyst says we need.
And we need a consistent lineup. We're getting there to where we need to get our lineups like this. I mean, we're not even at the All-Star break, or still have a month and a half, but you know.
Speaking of All-Stars, vote Paul George the 2023 NBA All-Star game. Don't forget.
Get that boy in there. Come on.
John Wall just should not be getting consistent minutes on this team. He's the 5th best guard. I'm taking all our guards aside from Coffee and Boston over.
Yeah, I agree.
Part of the reason
it's so great that we're a deep team, but sometimes, you know, it's like, oh, come on, I wish he could play.
I believe it's not a great thing. I think that's what's messing with Ty Lue's rotations. Think about it. I think it's a great thing that we're deep, but I also feel that us being this deep has messed with Ty Lue's rotations. Because now he doesn't know who not to play, and he's not adjusting as much because he feels this guy has to play one night and this guy doesn't the other.
Okay, Luca, I'm speechless. I mean,
the deep rotations are great for when Kawhi load manages, PG load manages. But if your coach is not going to make adjustments, then what's the point of having 12 dudes who could play?
Okay, what, Luca? That makes no sense. What's the point of having 12 dudes that can play? Like, what? Obviously, you want 12 dudes that are rotation players in the league on your team. I don't give a shit if they don't play or not. I mean, I would rather have Robert Covington than Robert Sacre on my bench. Like, I mean,
I agree that we should have good players who can play quality minutes. But the thing is, what's the point of having them if Covington, Coffee, dudes who can play minutes and would play on other teams aren't ever going to check in?
Well, I think we should keep them in case our players get injured, or in the playoffs.
That's the if factor.
Or in the playoffs, we play a team and we need Rocco in there, and boom, they weren't expecting Rocco to play.
What do you expect? How's Rocco supposed to play well if he doesn't get reps all season? If he's the 11th dude on the bench who only plays if Batum's out and we need a backup big, how is he supposed to be ready for the playoffs?
I mean, he's in the NBA, man. I mean, come on.
It's clear. It's been shown. Covington comes out, doesn't play for a week or months at a time, couple weeks at a time, and he comes out and his first couple shots are off because he has not played with the group. We cannot develop chemistry if we have 12 dudes and only 10 of them know how to play with each other.
Okay, I think we should finish this next time because we're getting a bit over time here, but we'll definitely start off continuing this next time. But I completely disagree with you on that. I'm just saying, like, completely disagree.
We'll see what the Clippers can do. They got a tough schedule for the rest of the year. Let's hope we can get top 4 seed.
Yeah, like 4 or 5. I mean, our next games are not easy.
Heat. Who else we have? Nuggets. Heat.
I mean, we got all good teams. Heat, Nuggets twice, Timberwolves, Hawks, Dallas twice. The next.
Speaking of Dallas, if playoffs started today, we have Luca versus Kawhi Part 3.
Yeah, I cannot do that ever again, bro. I'm so sick of Luca. Like, he's one of my favorite players. He's insane. I cannot get cooked by him again.
I cannot deal with that dude playing us again.
Yeah, and I want the Mavericks to go far. Like, maybe Western Conference Finals.
Put them on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And then they can go far. But I do not want to see Luca in the first round ever again.
Bro, I have PTSD. Oh my god.
That dude has made me. I used to love Luca. I do not love Luca anymore. That dude has ruined his perception to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for the week, right? We had a pretty good one. Good episode.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. We'll see you next week. Go Clippers. Vote Paul George to the 2023 NBA All-Star Game. Get to voting.
Clippers bring it in. 5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
God, he got it! 1 second left. Clippers by 2.
The 3 for the tie. Oh my goodness. I don't